Well, I've been staring into my past, thinking about what is my next video. How can I help the general populace of the world? But you know what? My sideburns aren't saying anything. If only my sideburns would just simply give me a sign.
Hey, Mr. Levitt, how do you calculate density?
Density, you say? Let me show you. Okay, density. So glad we thought of this. You see, density is a simple concept. In its basicness, we have ourselves, density is the mass over volume. Mass over volume, that's it. Now here in Canada, where I currently reside, we do things in grams and centimeters cubed, if it's a solid. And usually when we're talking about the density of something, it's a solid. But that doesn't mean that we can't talk about the density of a gas or a liquid. It doesn't matter the state. If it is, then of course we would be using milliliters. Of course. Now, here's a simple question. If you had a cube, and the cube had a mass of 15 grams, and the volume, after we measure and multiply and do all that good stuff, the volume is 5 centimeters cubed, well then we would just plug it into this formula, where we have 15 grams divided by 5 centimeters cubed would equal a grand total of 3 grams for every, or per, centimeter cubed. All right? This is density, but numbers don't really cut it often. In order to truly understand density, you got to think of it in different terms here. Okay? This is the official formula, the scientific definition, the amount of mass per volume. So in this cube, there are, for every milliliter or for every centimeter cubed, there will be 3 grams of whatever. But think of it in terms of this, not just mass over volume, but the crowdedness of particles in matter. Okay, so I'm walking down the street. I'm glad that I have density, or else air particles would be pushing me all the way around, because I am densely packed. Like the particles in my head is densely packed. Bam! I don't have to worry about being pushed over by water, and I can walk through air. I can walk straight through matter. Here, this is me. Yeah. Walking straight through. This way. Crowdedness of particles in matter. That's what density really is. And so this is what I like, this is the wording that I like to give out to my students. If something is less dense, well, that's the same thing as saying that it floats. And that's the same thing as saying that the molecules are spread out. And coincidentally, not coincidentally, I don't know what the C word I'm thinking about here is, like contra something, whatever, who cares? If you say something is more dense, because these are the terms that are being thrown around here in class. What's more dense mean? What's less dense? I don't know. Well, it means it sinks. Which means that the molecules are close together. Now, let me just help you out with this. Let's give you an example. The number one example here for this stuff would have to be the Jolly Good. Oh my goodness, look what it is. It's an air balloon, hooray. In a little basket, whatever. You know what? Now it's a skeleton one. Okay. Got this air balloon here. The thing is, when you heat up, you know, there's like a little fire here. Hooray. And it's heating up the air particles inside this balloon. Now, the air particles, as you gain energy, they'll speed up and they'll move further apart. Wait a minute. Did I just say that the molecules will spread out as energy is inputted in there? Yes, I did. If molecules spread out, that means they are less dense. If they are less dense, then they will float. You see, what is it less dense? What is it being compared to in this example? Well, it would be the air outside of the balloon. The air outside of the balloon is not receiving the impact of the heat of the fire right here. And so they're just staying the same. So as these spread out, the molecules in comparison to outside of the balloon will be closer together and the air will sink. It will be more dense. So the air outside of this balloon is more dense than the air inside. So less dense means it floats. This balloon will go up. Oh my goodness. And you'll have a jolly ride and it'll be over too soon and you'll feel as though you wasted your money. But it'll be great to experience density in action, crowdedness. See, the particles inside of this here balloon are less crowded. And so if they're less crowded, it will be easier for them to just kind of push their way up, right? The crowdedness of the molecules are close together of something more dense. So anyways, I hope this helped. Less dense equals float equals molecules spread out. More dense equals sinks equals molecules close together. Official scientific definition of density, there is the theoretical, or in different terms, crowdedness of particles in matter. Give it a shot.